What is going on, everyone? Badger here. Make sure to like and sub, and let's get into this. So, yes, the story continues with Sweet Baby Inc. We've all been talking about it, talked about it extensively on Nerd War stream today, where trying to suss out just exactly what percentage of blame Sweet Baby Inc. has. They are certainly not the biggest bad. There are far more likely targets. That being said, they are still a target, and because we are correctly calling them out for their parts, however big or small, in inserting DEI in almost everything they can get their grubby little paws on. And of course, the nuance here that Nerd Wars would certainly have you understand is that all of these companies that asked for the consultation from Sweet Baby Inc. were already corrupted. Sweet Baby Inc. is just the little woke cherry on top of an already corrupted meal. But here, of course, just like in Gamergate, and I put a question mark, but it's pretty sure this is in fact a Gamergate 2.0. Full sequel or DLC? We'll find out. Either way, it's involving some of the same people and it is following the same pattern. And of course, we have correctly called something out. And now the mainstream media, the Urnialist, legacy journalists, they are running, of course, cover for this DEI machine. And trust me, there are many, 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 many more consultant firms than just Sweet Baby Inc. It's just they are the ones that stepped in it and started this whole hubbub when they went after Cabrutos. Shout out to Cabrutos for making his Steam curator list, just letting people know which games Sweet Baby Inc. had handed. You'd think they'd like it, but here we go. Spencer Bakuli, who of course has also tried to point out that Sweet Baby Inc. is not the all-powerful DEI, although they are. This does not minimize their part in it whatsoever, but it does point out that they are in fact but a symptom of a larger corruption that we've been talking about, because it's the same corruption in the movies and it's the same thing that happened to comics. So here we go. From Spencer Bakuli, do you want another Gamergate? Because this is how you get another Gamergate. Yeah, he's right. To the surprise of no one, the mainstream press, as well as members of the overall Western video game industry, have responded to the recent and well-deserved scrutiny leveled at the work of inclusion-focused narrative consulting company Sweet Baby Inc. by doing their best to run defense for their ideological allies. And that is, of course, where the famous thing we always talk about: you don't need a formal conspiracy where interests align, and ideologically, for one reason or another, either by force or because they actually believe this dumb shit, they are allies. So they're circling the wagons around Sweet Baby Inc. First kicked off on March 6th when Kotaku published a piece by site senior editor Alyssa Mercante, headline: Sweet Baby Inc. doesn't do what some gamers think it does. Therein, Mercante not only attempted to play shocked victim after she was kicked from the Discord server for the Sweet Baby Inc. detected Steam curator list whilst trying to dig up dirt on the company, and wasn't hiding it. Like, she was openly saying, does anyone want to comment on this? After all, what did she expect when she used her real name and photo on the profile she used to infiltrate the server, but attempted to portray the consultation company's DEI work, despite it being highlighted at nearly every single turn on their official website, which is the bigger point, as nothing more than a minuscule and insignificant part of their operation. And this is, of course, the spin that Sweet Baby Inc. ensures the game's points make logical sense and are satisfying to players, and that characters speak and behave in consistent ways, wrote the Kotaku editor. Her use of vague and generic language ostensibly meant to obfuscate the company's own self-declared mission to make the titles they work on more inclusive. That means they ensure games' plot points make logical sense and are satisfying to players, and that characters speak and behave in consistent ways. Narrative designers may also provide a final round of polish like a Hollywood script doctor. Yeah. So this is where you either take them at what they say or not, because a lot of the things that came out during that Nerd Wars stream, which is still up, by the way, on his channel if you want to watch it, is this Saturday, was the fact that apparently, first of all, the biggest criticism that they were involved in Alan Wake 2 making Saga race swap from white to black. The game designer for Alan Wake has apparently said that is not true. It happened before they reached out to Sweet Baby Inc. Now, is he lying? Is he saying it now just to cover for them? Like, no, it was our idea all along. I don't know. If, I guess for now, until proven to be lying, we have to take him at its word. So, but that's the other thing, though. You also can't prove what they didn't do. You can't really prove what they did, just that they did something. And so we have to take the effects of that for what it is. But I think the ultimate point for sure that Nerd Wars would have you believe and know, at least, because he's apparently done the deep dives on this, and he was showing a receipt, is that all of these companies were ruined to begin with. All Sweet Baby Inc. does is it makes the ruining make a little bit more sense to them over there, but it's still, the ruination is there, and they're just, while increasing it, it's bad. And one could say, how much crap could you pile on top of something and it's still crap? How much worse could they make it? I don't know. I personally think they do more harm than even on paper we could prove, but that's just my assumption and opinion. It's not fact. The fact points that while they have certainly influenced a bunch of horrible decisions, the majority of those horrible decisions were already put in place by the corrupted, woke people that work there to begin with. That's my site on that. Let's get back to Spencer. Following Kotaku stepping into the ring while Mercante turned her attentions to denying the existence of anti-white racism. Well, they don't even think you can be racist to white people. So, and condescendingly writing off YouTuber as a pick-me-up girl for daring to disagree with her. La Rihanna Creole as a pick-me girl, excuse me, for daring to disagree with her. PC Gamer's Harvey Randall entered the fray the next day, writing a piece for the outlet which framed the backlash to Sweet Baby Inc.'s involvement in recent titles as nothing more than infantile whining. Yeah, we've heard that. We've heard Kim Belair, one of the CEO of Sweet Baby Inc., saying that, oh, gamers are just picky babies that just want the same old toys, and they won't accept anything new. Well, it's not the way you're doing it. Admittedly beginning from with the correct assertion that Sweet Baby is about as capable of forcing a game developer to make grand sweeping changes to its story and characters as a contracted artist, musician, or catering company staff worker for Office Birthday is. Randall eventually pivots to framing their work as no big deal. No, and it is a big deal. Though, and this is the way I think, and this is at least my view that I try to get across on that stream, is that if you're on a DEI cliff, I feel like many of these studios are right there. They're not over the edge yet. It's questionable, and you're worried you're going to go over, but they're not there. And then a company like Sweet Baby Inc. comes in, and they fucking shove you right over the edge. And all of a sudden, your woke character is now 50% of the gameplay, and there's a bunch of extra messaging on top of the messaging that's already there. That's what I think, and that's why I think they're extremely dangerous. And every company just like Sweet Baby Inc. that we continue to expose and all of that, that's bad. But I do feel it's minimizing when you almost pseudo like, well, they didn't do that. Well, okay, fine. They didn't make Saga Black, but they still did a bunch of other shit that was more than would have been there had they not been there. I don't. It's like either we're calling them out, and the real point I was saying is, okay, fine. Now that you've pointed out that nuance, the result and strategy and tactic of dealing with them is functionally the same. You've proved to me that they're not a stage 4 cancer, but they're still a skin cancer. They're still a melanoma. We still need to cut it out and excise it. We still need to ignore them and not give them money and remember their names so that when they fail upwards and laterally, we remember their names when they go to their new hidden company and just start another Sweet Baby Inc. 3.0, 4.0. Just so that's the same tactic, regardless of the level of guilt in this specific case. But again, I digress. Drinking game. In that sense, Sweet Baby's work is literally a non-event. This is all cope. This is them backing up and trying to make it obfuscate, try and make it seem not as bad. Yes, Sweet Baby Inc. explicitly consults on issues including the accurate representation of marginalized groups. That is what it helps with. But if that wasn't important to the people making the games they work on, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. And, you know, their excuse will be like, if there's a black character that's in LA, they'll hire someone. Now, I don't know how a woke half black woman from Canada knows about guys from black people in LA. I don't, just because they're melanated, they share the same melanation and they suddenly have a magical understanding of all people like them, because all of these consultants are from Canada. So I don't really know how they're advising in that regard, but those are the examples we get. And it's like, okay, all right. I think they do way more than that. But again, that's just my opinion. That's not me trying to be right. It's me saying that based on pattern recognition and all the horrible shit these people say behind the scenes, yeah, I think that's what they do. I think they race hustle. They don't like white people. They certainly don't like white men, and they take every opportunity. So while the point is being made that, yeah, they're coming in at like the last 98% and just finalizing, they themselves say they would be very happy to come in at the very beginning and really make substantial changes. And what I'm saying is, I believe, my opinion is that wherever they have been allowed to make more than just refinements, they have done so. They have done so. And where's my proof? Well, every game that they've worked on has failed. Now, correlation doesn't mean causation, but boy, is that peculiar that every game that they've worked with more or less has failed. Yeah, Ragnarok is very apparently, but if Ragnarok is successful, God of War, sure. So not every game. All right, I'll correct myself, but there's a lot of talk about it now. Like you can't say that there's 100% positive about it. The zeitgeist calls it out. Stepping into the ring the next day. So just look, The Guardian did something and they said a bunch of dumb shit, further attempting to frame Sweet Baby Inc. as the victim of a rising Gamergate 2.0. McDonald ultimately asserted nobody is forcing diversity into video. I don't know how he said that with a straight face. Nobody is forcing diversity into video games. It is happening naturally. It was happening naturally. It absolutely was happening. No one put Coltrane in Gears of War. I'll tell you that much. Like no one forced him in. That was a very natural, fun character. It was happening naturally, but now if Coltrane out, we think DEI. Gears of War. God, I missed that series. That got woked up too. Yeah, funny. As players and developers themselves diversify, Gamergate didn't intimidate women out of video games 10 years ago, and we won't be intimidated now. Nor was Gamergate intended to intimidate anyone. The women gamers are some of the most vicious amongst us, and no, they were the ones screaming in Gamergate too. As noted above, it was not just the press who leapt to defend Sweet Baby Inc., as numerous members of the Western video game industry also saw fit to push back against them. Yeah, they're the algorithm tracers. Here, Insomniac Games. Oh, of course. No, Sweet Baby Inc. did not kill your game. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, and a lot of these people are now blocked and or privating their chats. If you're mad about DEI ruining your games, you need to grow up. Likewise, asserted a Bungie senior narrative designer, because things are going so well over at Bungie. Thickest Yosh. You need to stop wasting so much time on grifters. Ironic. Who are only there to manipulate you and milk your anger for engagement. You need to talk to people. Yeah, does it seem like I need to milk your anger? I'm plenty fucking angry enough on my own about this. And yeah, you have consistently ruined my shit because you have to put your guilty little neo-Marxism narratives in everything, almost every single thing. Again, the as pronoun rant has aged like fine wine. You need to stop falling for this. Anyone hiring you needs to stop falling for this. Yeah. Authoring a piece for the founded by former Kotaku staff video game news outlet Aftermath, Nathan Grayson, whom many may remember as having been one of the several journalists who gave Zoe Quinn's Depression Quest positive coverage without disclosing their sexual relationship, dismissed the criticisms of Sweet Baby. Of course, yes, and of course Zoe Quinn got multiple people to Minecraft themselves. Blah, blah, blah. Very few people who believe the Sweet Baby conspiracy, perhaps zero, will read the... Okay, yeah, I don't really... Yeah, we've all... That's the point. No one has done more digging right now than gamers, trying to suss out just exactly what Sweet Baby Inc., what their weird ghost, baby ghost, Black Girl Gamer, all these shell companies, it's like 16 plus. It's exhausting. It's way more than that. But yeah, we're just trying to find out what they had a hand in, what they got coming up, and how the hell we can stop them from doing it. It's ridiculous. And the proof is in the pudding. I think I heard Words of Paradise earlier on the Hypnotic Saturday Hypnosis, whatever, saying that like over 9,000 people in the gaming industry have been fired recently due to just the horrible. And you can say, oh, it was because of this. And yeah, a lot of it is because games as a service are failing and they're releasing buggy products. And on top of all of that, and too many microtransactions. And on top of all of that, you have, demons for some of them, ideologically possessed for the others. I know some might say that's the same thing, but it takes all types. And then a bunch of scared, guilty white people in the middle just going along with horrible things. And then a bunch of racist people that think you can't be racist to white people. And then the people that just want good games like us going, what the fuck is going on? I don't know. I'm going to keep bringing it to you, though, as it develops. Right now, we are the gaming journalists. We're the only ones actually looking into this. All the mainstream that no one actually really cares about anymore, they're running defense. But that's what they do. And say what you want about Elon Musk, but his involvement in Twitter has made it a much more even playing field. That and the fact that the mainstream press all around has just proved to be lying POSs the last couple of years. And yeah, you get more truth out of an average YouTuber than you do anywhere from a game journalist. Let me know what you think of this in the comments. Make sure to like, share, and sub. If you've done that, thank you. If you're gonna do that, thank you. And well,
bye.